Former Deputy Chief Lorilee Davies is named Chief of the Regina Police Service. Why a Sask woman had to be moved to a different hospital to deliver a baby. And why the NDP says mismanagement of SaskPower will lead to higher bills.
Live from our studios in Regina, this is CTV News.
Good evening. 8 months after former police chief Farouk Sheikh was placed on leave for complaints of misconduct, a new leader was announced for the Regina Police Service today. And as Donovan Mace tells us, the hire is a historic one.
The Regina Police Service has a new commander.
The Board of Police Commissioners is pleased to announce the new permanent Chief of Police for the Regina Police Service, Lorilee Davies.
Davies assumes the role with nearly 30 years of experience within the service.
I'm here for you. You have my commitment to continue our focus on member wellness, fostering inclusivity and belonging.
As the 16th chief in Regina Police history, she is the first woman to have the title and the first woman to be appointed chief of a Saskatchewan police force, according to the city.
I hope for, young girls and young women out there that they see that there's many opportunities in non-traditional roles, and I'm, certainly hoping that some of them put their applications in here.
Davies has held the role as acting chief for the past 8 months as former Chief Farouk Sheikh was investigated by the Public Complaints Commission and eventually terminated after the PCC found evidence of dishonorable conduct. Davies and the city feel she is the right person for the job to lead the service as it turns a new page.
Uncertainty sometimes can erode public trust. I hope for the community that, they trust us and they know that we can move forward in a good direction.
That is priority number one for the commission, for the city, and again, I am of firm belief that Chief Davies has the qualities to make sure that we're on that path.
Davies credits her readiness to take on this new challenge to her former mentor and friend.
He's here today. Former Chief Evan Bray is a huge mentor of mine.
Former Chief Bray says he realized quickly Davies has what it takes to be chief.
People in the organization need to feel like they're valued by a chief, need to feel like the chief understands their challenges. This service is behind Lorilee Davies as chief, and I have all the confidence in the world.
Davies will be officially sworn in as chief of police in the early new year. Donovan Mace, CTV News, Regina.
A rural Saskatchewan woman had a harrowing experience while delivering a baby. Kyra Cornelson arrived in labor at the Swift Current Hospital, but learned it had a bit of a staffing issue. Attempts to find an ambulance to transport her to another city also proved challenging. Wayne Mantica has more.
Bed there.
Tyra Cornelson says she was pre-registered for a high-risk delivery at the Swift Current Hospital. In July, she arrived in labor on her due date and was told that a staffing issue would prevent her delivery at the hospital.
They knew my due date. They knew I was coming. So, the pre-admission was done. So, we show up in labor, and they assess us, make sure I'm actually in labor. And after that, they tell us that there was a labor disruption and they can't deliver our baby.
Staff scrambled to find another hospital and an ambulance to get her there.
So they tried for Moose Jaw, and they eventually found a bed in Moose Jaw that would take us. And once they did, then they had to look for an ambulance that would take us there. And Swift Current didn't have any ambulances. They had to find one somewhere else.
The whole ordeal took about 4 hours. Tyra says she would have gone elsewhere to begin with had she known. The NDP say Saskatchewan hospital policy must change.
SHA is not to publicize obstetrical disruptions. So it's very frustrating when you hear a story like this.
The health minister says the situation was not ideal.
This summer, unfortunately, we had a less than 24-hour disruption when it came to anesthesia at the Cypress Regional Hospital, Mr. Speaker.
The baby was born 1 hour after the ambulance arrived in Moose Jaw. The government has initiated a discussion with the family. Wayne Mantica, CTV News, Regina.
Fort Capel RCMP responding to a serious crash on Highway 10 northeast of Edgeley. Police say the crash happened 5 kilometers east of Edgeley and the highway was closed just a bit after 2 p.m. Other details on the crash are unclear. Officers at the scene reported icy road conditions and aim to ask drivers in the area to slow down. The highway will remain closed for an undetermined amount of time. Nearby drivers should expect delays. Saskatchewan NDP says the government's management of SaskPower's finances will leave families with higher power bills. A new report shows SaskPower is heading towards a loss of $166 million this year instead of the surplus that was projected in the spring budget. The NDP says that the government is trying to add another $800 million in spending, while the minister in charge did not attend a committee meeting to explain why.
What we're seeing here is a historic failure to manage our money and a desperate government cover-up. This is $1 billion of public money, and it can only come from one place. That's the taxpayer. People are going to be paying for this for years to come.
Mr. Speaker, time and time again, quote and quote again, the members opposite advocate for that carbon tax to be on the power bills of Saskatchewan families. We have removed it, which it continues to ensure Saskatchewan has some of the lowest utility rates in the nation of Canada.
Now, the government has not provided details on how the projected loss or the extra spending proposal might impact future power rates. All right, let's go to the Weather Center. Sabine has our first look at weather tonight. And once again, kind of a roller coaster here. Yesterday, cool. Today, rather mild compared to December temperatures.
Well, yeah, we climbed above seasonal, Lee, and actually above zero for many parts of the province, including in Regina. Saw a daytime high of about +1 and didn't really see much in terms of active weather. And even the cloud cover, we saw a little bit more sunshine yesterday. Today, we saw cloudier conditions, and that is expected to continue as we head into tomorrow. Taking a look at our current temperatures, we're still seeing, especially in southern Saskatchewan, many temperatures around zero, if not warmer than zero. Of course, the wind chill now is starting to play a factor in some of those temperatures. In Regina, wind chill value of about -8. As we head into tomorrow, we'll start to see a dip in those temperatures. So it will be below zero and also below seasonal in parts of the province before a real cold weekend ahead. I'll have all the details in your forecast. Lee?
Thank you, Sabine. The provincial government launched Phase 4 of its Face the Issue campaign at the IMAX Theatre. Jacob Carr has more on how this phase of the initiative is planning to address interpersonal violence in Saskatchewan.
Hi. Yeah, no, I know. Please don't yell. I've been in a meeting.
The big screen showed the debut of a short film focusing on the role of bystanders to recognize and respond to interpersonal violence and abuse.
It's so important for people to realize that just something as simple as saying, I noticed what's going on, I care about you, I'm here for you, do you want to talk? That is so important, and that can change the trajectory of what happens next.
Saskatchewan Justice Minister and Attorney General Tim MacLeod talked about the importance of funding organizations such as Paths that are geared towards both helping prevent interpersonal violence and helping those affected.
We've got over $32 million being invested by our provincial government into this space, taking the issue of interpersonal violence incredibly seriously. In addition to funding our community partners and the supports that are offered in the community, the education and the awareness piece, we've also taken legislative changes.
Those legislative changes, according to MacLeod, include Clare's Law, which the provincial government enacted in 2020, and the recently passed cyber-stalking course of control legislation. The government and Paths agree that the goal of the Face the Issue campaign is to first educate and, if possible, prevent interpersonal violence from escalating, but there are supports in place for people experiencing IPV.
So our member agencies at Paths do the really important frontline work. They operate emergency and second stage shelters and have counseling and outreach programs. And all of that is necessary after someone has experienced IPV.
You know, look, I know it's not exactly my business, but you don't have to deal with this alone.
Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
Nominations now open for the Regina Citizen of the Year Award presented by CTV. The award is given out each year to an individual who exemplifies excellence in community service. And to find out how to nominate someone, guides are available on our website. The deadline to submit your nomination tomorrow. We will announce this year's recipient on New Year's Eve. Still ahead, back in the saddle, quarterback Trevor Harris commits to another season with the Riders.
Wardrobe consideration in part by Colin O'Brien Men's Shop.
After breaking a CFL record for the best completion percentage in a Grey Cup, 39-year-old quarterback Trevor Harris has no intention of retiring yet. Today, the Riders announced the veteran has signed a one-year extension.
Harris
Harris helped the Riders to the franchise's 5th Grey Cup this year, the 3rd for Harris, although it was his first as the starting quarterback. During the regular season, he threw for 24 touchdowns, 2nd best in his CFL career, leading the Riders to a 12-6 record, 1st in the West. Harris and rookie Braden Shager are the only Rider quarterbacks now under contract for the 2026 season. Jake Mayer, Tommy Stevens, Jack Cohen are set to become free agents in February. Well, playing in the U.S. continues to be a nightmare for South Saskatchewan WHL teams. The Swift Current Broncos have lost all 5 on their American swing and 7 in a row after a 4-0 loss last night to Tri-Cities. And to make matters worse, this happened.
1:05 to go in the game. Xavier Went is out of the goal. He's looking. He's going to try it. Xavier Went for the empty net. He scores!
Tri-City Americans goalie Xavier Went scores from behind his own goal line, the 11th goalie in WHL history to score a goal. Went also stopped 23 shots for the shutout. Broncos wrap up their U.S. swing tomorrow night in Spokane. South Saskatchewan teams, by the way, 0-11 in the U.S. this season. Well, around Wascana Lake, a number of dead geese have been spotted on the frozen water, leaving some upset and confused on why they haven't been removed. Damien Smith checks it out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Brent Tremblay was walking his dogs around Wascana Lake 2 days ago when he noticed some geese trapped in ice. He reached out to a wildlife rescue and Wascana Center authority, who said there's nothing that they can do.
Very heartening and disturbing to see this on the lake and that nobody's doing anything about it.
Tremblay is passionate about human-to-wildlife connections. This summer, he says he fed over 1,000 cedar waxwings in his backyard after they flew south from the northern wildfires.
I have a sleigh that I could pull all my gear on the ice, and I was willing, myself to do that. I was gonna put on a couple bell weights and a hook and try to cast out and catch the bird.
He was hoping he could help these birds out as well with his ice fishing kit, but decided against it. According to the Ministry of Environment, in the past month, they've received more calls than usual about birds frozen into lakes in urban areas.
In large-scale mortality events, oftentimes we do have to let nature take its course. It's going to be difficult or impossible to access or remove the birds at this time of year. Those carcasses will likely remain frozen until the spring. Eventually they'll thaw.
It's advised that those who come across similar situations, let them be, as it may not be safe to go out on the ice and the birds may be infected with the avian flu.
While it looks alarming, it's still a very small proportion of the population. So this is a small number of birds that, may be immune compromised, that may be weak, that have died. So the public shouldn't be alarmed as far as, the impact on the overall population.
Damien Smith, CTV News, Regina.
Still ahead, a call in Saskatchewan to award the Victoria Cross for the first time in 8 decades.
Take a look at what we can expect for your forecast heading into, approaching the weekend. But let's start with tonight and into tomorrow. So today was an above seasonal day. We climbed above +1, currently sitting at -2 with the wind chill at about -8. The wind's actually just over 15 kilometers an hour. The winds are looking like we're going to start to see them pick up in the next few days. But heading into tomorrow, the temperature is just going to drop just below seasonal, depending on where you are in the province, of course. We will see some of those temperatures staying within that average range, and it's not until we get into tomorrow night and into Saturday where those temperatures are going to be quite frigid, and I'll talk more about that coming up. Though right now, if we take a look at our satellite radar satellite, we didn't really see much for active weather over the last couple of hours, though we have started to see more of that snow coming through the southwest. The southwest is expecting to see quite a bit, well, not quite a bit of snow, but enough snow over the next couple of days. I'll show you that in our snowfall totals coming up. So basically, as we're heading into this evening, this is a system that we're seeing heading into the south with that snow. Now, as that clears, there is more snow that we'll continue to see in the overnight in the southwest, particularly for Swift Current Maple Creek, continuing overnight into the morning. But then you can see that there's still some trace amounts of snow expected throughout parts of the morning as another system is expected to come through. Late afternoon, more snow still staying in the southwest. For the rest of southern Saskatchewan, even into central Saskatchewan, seeing mostly cloudy conditions for your Friday. And then into Saturday, we will see a little bit more sunshine starting your day in parts of the southeast. But the snow continues to come throughout the southwest there, and cloudier conditions as well. We will see a little bit more clear conditions heading into the overnight, but by the time we get into Sunday, that's where we could expect to see some more snow coming through parts of central Saskatchewan. This is a quick look of what we can expect between now into about, I think this will let me get into about Sunday morning. So this is what we're expecting. Again, the southwest seeing up to about 7 centimeters of snow. The southeast, trace amounts, Regina could see up to about 1, 2 for Weyburn, Estevan, and even in the Moose Jaw area in the Parkland seeing trace amounts as well. So something to keep in mind. We know systems change directions and change strength as well. So those snowfall totals are just an estimate of what we can expect. But if we're taking a look at our temperatures, you can see we're going to be well above seasonal, but the southwest still a little warmer into seasonal range for the southeast. And for us here in Regina tomorrow, cooling at -10 tonight will be a little warmer than tomorrow's daytime high. And a real quick at your next 7 days, -10 with a mix of sun and cloud tomorrow, -19 on Saturday. These wind chill values will be feeling closer to the -30s. Wind picking up on Sunday up to 50, -13. And as Monday, Tuesday starts, we're back into seasonal range with more snow expected Tuesday and Thursday.
The last time a Canadian Forces member was awarded a Victoria Cross medal was in 1945. A group of retired soldiers were at the legislature on Wednesday calling for recent historic deeds to be recognized with the Victoria Cross. Mick Fable has more.
The Wall of Honor at the Saskatchewan Legislature highlights people from the province who have received the Victoria Cross. Created in 1856 by Queen Victoria, the medal is awarded to those who have shown extraordinary valor and devotion to duty while facing the enemy. Canada created its own Victoria Cross medal in 1993, but it has never been awarded.
Many times acts of valor have been recorded and moved forward for recognition, but alas, nothing has been done at this point in time. It's time to end that.
Valor in the Presence of the Enemy is a non-profit organization dedicated to honoring and supporting Canadian soldiers. They have been working with the province to present a motion in the legislature on Wednesday, calling on the federal government to establish an independent military honors review board to ensure acts of extraordinary bravery are appropriately recognized.
It has literally been 80 years since Canada last awarded a Victoria Cross.
Willie MacDonald served in the Canadian Army for 25 years. He was deployed to Afghanistan twice. It was there he was involved in a fierce battle at a Taliban stronghold, in which many of his comrades were either wounded or killed. MacDonald was awarded the Star of Military Valor for his heroic efforts, and says that there are many instances of Canadian Armed Forces members displaying acts of heroism that deserve the Victoria Cross.
Do I think that the Victoria Cross ought reasonably to have been awarded to somebody? Absolutely. I do. And, you know, it's through the work of Bruce Moncur and General Rick Hillier, who started Valor in the Presence of the Enemy, that this is now sort of starting to see the light of day.
The Wall of Honor includes shadow boxes containing a photo and telling each recipient's story, and this group is hoping more can be added in the future.
The amount of VCs are on this wall now compared to how many have been issued to Canada, you know, it just speaks volumes to Saskatchewan and, you know, what we've done for this nation. And once again, Saskatchewan's, you know, leading the way by pushing this forward and hopefully getting some federal support to reopen these books.
The province has written a letter to the federal minister requesting some files be reconsidered for a possible awarding of the Victoria Cross.
Really show the Canadian public that we value the selfless acts of courage that our armed forces have provided for us. We live such an insulated life from all of that, and so we need to remember that freedom is never free.
CTV News has reached out to the federal government for a response. Only time will tell if more names are added to the Wall of Honor. Mick Fable, CTV News, Regina.
The Canadian Food Inspection Agency has once again issued a warning about recalled pistachio products due to possible salmonella contamination. Now, this is the latest in a series of similar recalls across the country. The pistachios and pistachio-containing products from the most recent recall warning were sold in several provinces as well as Saskatchewan. An extensive list of the products on where they were sold is available on the government's website.
Brought to you by Saskatchewan Union of Nurses. Thank you to Saskatchewan's 11,000 registered nurses.
All right, time now to check out what your rural forecast is looking like heading into tomorrow. So many areas we're dipping back into below our seasonal temperatures. Seasonal usually ranging around the minus 6 to about -9 is usually the average depending on where we are in the province. So tomorrow we will see cooler than seasonal temperatures in many parts, including areas like Spiritwood and Lloydminster seeing cloudier conditions, -16 for Spiritwood and for Meadow Lake, Lloydminster -14, and Outlook -9, just within that seasonal range, seeing more cloud cover tomorrow. Some areas a little bit more sunnier than others, including Lumsden and Pilot Butte, a mix of sun and cloud, -10. Snow expected in the southwest, -6 for Leader, -3 for Maple Creek and East Sun Cypress in the southeast there, -7 for Carlisle, -8 for Broadview. If we take a closer look at Borden, where internet speeds up to 1 gig are available through SaskTel, -15 tomorrow with a wind chill of -23. As we head into the evening, your low is expected to be -23 with a wind chill of -32.
Yes, some cold temperatures in Borden. That's all the time we have for our 5 o'clock news. Well, national news is next, but first, just a reminder that our 6 o'clock newscast will not be seen tonight as CTV is broadcasting the NFL game between the Cowboys and Lions nationally. So that'll be on at 6 o'clock, the pregame. But stick around, we do have national news, and that is next.